the other way. The most important fact about Bernie is that he is honest and trustworthy. He's got the best chance to win in November. You worry about who's going to be appointed to the Supreme Court. You worry about the possibility of Cruz or Trump being elected. The person today who the American people and public opinion polls say they would vote for versus these candidates, and who can beat all of these candidates, there's only one, and it's this guy right here.
Joining us now, former U.S. Senator from Michigan and now Bernie Sanders supporter, Don Riegle. Senator, thank you very much for joining us tonight. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Lawrence, and thank you for the job you do. I see you all the time, but it's
good to see you again, Senator.
Yes.
And what I'm doing is as easy as it looks. Senator, I have to tell you, I'm very surprised. If someone asked me who's Don Riegle going to back, I would have said he's going to make the conventional choice in this situation. Former senator, he's going to go with the former senator. He's going to go with Hillary Clinton. I remember watching you in the Senate working with Hillary Clinton, working very hard to get her health care plan through the Senate Finance Committee, trying to get that passed. How did you make this decision? How did you come out this way?
Well, you know, I served over the time 28 years in the Congress, 7 different presidents. So you get to see different kinds of presidents and different kinds of presidential styles. But the whole political system has changed, and you know that almost better than anybody else, because when people say the political system is broken, it really is quite broken. We're not seeing much of anything happen out of the Congress. We're seeing gridlock in an extreme way. The two parties have sort of been breaking down over a period of time, and special interest money has really come to dominate the entire system. And I think it is corrupting. I made an analogy to it being like the poison water in Flint that we've been dealing with my hometown. If you have too much special interest money going through the political system, all kinds of bad things happen and very few good things happen. And that has to change. If we're going to get new national priorities for our country, I think you've got to put the people back in charge, and that's very, very difficult. So when Bernie Sanders started out to do this a long time ago, nobody knew who he was. He was from Vermont, 3% in the polls. But I think what he's saying about the need for fundamental change and setting a new set of national priorities is correct. And right now, he's the only one who's really offering that I can see. And one of the tests of it is that he's been able to attract now, I think they just reached the 5 million mark in individual citizens who've made contributions to his campaign. Now, that's really astonishing, because it's hard to get people, just average citizens, to contribute to a campaign or to even volunteer for a campaign. But to have 5 million of them across the country, average contribution at $27, I mean, that is a cry for change. And it represents anxiety, it represents frustration, it represents idealism, wanting to make a fresh start. And I think that's needed. And right now, he's offering that, and he's the only one who really is, in my opinion.
In your statement yesterday, you reached back to NAFTA and how you and Bernie Sanders, Bernie in the House, you in the Senate, opposed NAFTA.
Seriously.
And so that still has resonance for you.
Well, it does. And with my statement that I made in Flint, I put down all the numbers over all the years since NAFTA has been in place of our annual trade deficit with Mexico. And I don't know if you happen to see those numbers or have them at the top of your head, but we just passed the 900 billion mark in trade deficit with Mexico since the beginning of NAFTA. We're about to hit $1 trillion. Ford Motor Company, as you may know, has just announced that it's about to move another plant from Michigan down to Mexico. Donald Trump's made a big deal out of that by saying, you know, if he's elected, he'll stop that. We've really been terribly devastated in Michigan and in the upper Midwest and increasingly across the country by jobs moving out of America, many to Mexico. That's an exhibit A. But the Clintons rammed that NAFTA, in my opinion. You were there, so you have your own view of it. But the pressure was very intense to accept that package, and it was based on promises that we would have a balance of trade, that we wouldn't be this many years down the road and be upside down by $1 trillion. But part of that money that's gone is money that we need to put new water pipes in Flint, other places around the country, help kids go to college, lots of other things.
Senator Don Riegle, thank you very much for joining us tonight on the eve of the Michigan primary. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks,
I think tomorrow should be interesting.
Okay, coming up, we have Joy Reid.